Hello and welcome to The Big Idea, a flagship initiative by Voice of Healthcare that spotlights pioneering minds and critical conversation shaping the future of Indian healthcare. We are coming to you from Beat 2025 National Cardiovascular Summit and Awards, where the nation's leading experts are converging to address the most pressing challenges and promising solutions in cardiovascular health. Joining us now is one of India's most respected voices in cardiothoracic surgery, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, professor in the Department of Cardiothoracic and Vascular Surgery at IMS BHU. Dr. Kumar, it's an absolute privilege to have you with us.
Thank you, Vaishnavi.
Let's begin with something fundamental yet widely misunderstood by the public. To start with the basic, what exactly is heart attack and how it is different from heart failure? Why it is important for people to understand the difference between the two?
This is a very common confusion in the public because they confuse the word heart failure or heart attack. When they say heart attack, because normally what we infer from heart attack is that the patient has suffered myocardial infarction, which is the medical terminology. That means the circulation which is needed for the heart muscle is not provided. That's why the heart muscles gets damaged, and because of that injury, that heart's ability to pump the blood gets affected as well. So when it is heart attack, that is mostly the process where the heart can get damaged because of the cutoff of the coronary circulation. It's the blood supply to the heart muscle itself. But if it is not addressed properly, or if a large chunk of the heart muscle is damaged, that will lead to the heart failure. So heart failure is a condition when the ability of the heart to pump blood effectively to rest of the body and various vital organs get affected. And what we measure in terms of scientific term, what we call is ejection fraction. So if there is an ejection fraction, which is normally over 60, if it gets reduced, so that leads to the pump failure, and that is the stage of the heart failure. So heart attack is a ischemia, that is the blood supply cut off for the heart muscle. That's the process. But if it is major area that is affected, that leads to the heart failure.
So thank you so much, sir, for explaining us the fundamentals about the difference between heart attack and heart failure. Moving forward, heart failure is increasingly being seen across age groups and geographies. From your perspective, why is heart failure becoming such a widespread concern in India today?
Yeah, if you really want to look at the various causes of the heart failure in Indian population, it affects the whole spectrum of the age group. Younger patients get affected and the older patients get affected. But the disease spectrum is different because younger patients, predominantly, it can be because of the congenital pathology, or else it can be a pathology which is leading to the valvular illness, which is most commonly, it is called rheumatic heart disease, where the valves get affected. So if you have a problem with the valve, or if there is a congenital illness where there is the shunting of the blood across the various chamber because of the defect in the septum, or if there is a improper development of various part of the blood vessels of the heart, that will lead to the heart failure in the younger population. Whereas, as we had just mentioned about the heart attack, if it is because of the coronary artery occlusion, which leads to the heart attack, so that is called ischemic heart disease, and that affects the elderly population. But in India, compared to the Western country or Caucasian population, Indian population, that coronary artery disease is very common in the younger population as well because of the metabolic syndrome and early onset of the ischemic heart disease. That's very common in Indian population, especially younger population. So these are the various reasons why we have increasing load of heart failure coming up in this various age group in India.
Correct. And sir, what are the signs and symptoms of heart failure that people often ignore, and when should someone seek medical attention?
As I said, that heart failure is a condition when there is an ineffective blood pumping ability of the heart muscle itself. So that leads to various symptoms, like the patient will complain that they get fatigued easily, easy fatiguability, or else if there is a ineffective circulation that is going to the brain, they get blackouts, or sometimes they get syncopial attacks also. They also suffer with that when the heart muscle is not effectively able to pump blood, they get shortness of breath because of blood getting accumulated into the lung, and that leads to the lung edema of the lung, which is the swelling of the lung. So because of that, the patient gets shortness of breath. And they can also get a chest pain if it is the circulation, blood supply that is needed for heart muscle when somebody is exerting is less because of the occlusion or any blockage of the arteries of the blood. So in that case, they can have the chest pain as well. So chest pain, shortness of breath, or syncopial attack, and easy fatigability. These are the early signs of, you can say, the patients suffering with the heart failure. And these patients, they should seek attention to get investigated and get proper treatment done by a specialist.
So, since we have now spoke about the signs and symptoms and the landscape of heart attack and heart failure, how can we prevent this condition to occur?
So the preventive measures will really work in those cases where we are talking about the coronary artery occlusion. So that is ischemic heart disease. So there, whatever leads to the occlusion of the coronary artery that can be prevented easily. When we are talking about the other spectrum of the illness, congenital, of course, you have no control. But if there is a rheumatic valvular pathology, because that can be prevented at an early stage by addressing those patients, younger patients, especially in the poor socioeconomic area, if they get the rheumatic fever, and so they should be treated effectively by specialists so that they do not develop the rheumatic sequelae of the rheumatic fever, which is the rheumatic heart disease. And about the coronary artery disease, it is the whole spectrum. It is a lifestyle illness. So basically, you have to make sure that your blood pressure is controlled. You do not have diabetes. That needs to be treated as well. You should also make sure that certain things which you can certainly improve is by your dietary habits. So low fat diet and low salt diet, so that you do not get the blood pressure. Especially when they say that when you cross 40 years or 40 years, then you must abstain from white things. Like white things, when we say, is like sugar, salt, or even those processed food. So these are the various things you can do to prevent coronary artery disease. And one more thing which I wanted to point out is like there are certain things which is in your control, which is also your habits. So like if you indulge in alcohol, especially if you are a smoker, those things should be abstained from, because it's very important that these habits, they are the one which is a precipitating factor, and it leads to the predisposition for the coronary artery disease.
So thank you so much, sir. As we head towards the end of the session, we have a very interesting segment which is known as rapid fire. So we'll be having some quick conversation. So what is one thing you do every day to take care of your own heart?
I'm very careful about my diet. So basically, mostly my diets is vegetarian diet and plant-based diet. I make sure that I don't take deep fried or oily stuff or junk food. Apart from that, certain regular habits like walking every day and also doing yoga, that is like heartfulness, what we call, that really helps your heart health. There is we also try to, because our job involves a lot of stress. So basically, we make sure that we take enough time off or do meditation in order to just take care of that those stress factor. And I don't smoke or drink, so that helps as well.
So what is one sign people should never ignore when it comes to heart health?
Yeah, especially if you start getting the chest pain on exertion or shortness of breath on exertion. These are the things that you must make sure that there is no underlying heart illness that is leading to this problem. So it is very important that these symptoms, if it occurs, especially in younger population, then they must get investigated.
One myth about heart failure you often hear that you want to burst.
Yeah, this heart failure and because usually I found that most of the people, they come, and rural population, they come as a patient, they are illiterate group, and so they are not able to really tell you in the right words that what exactly is the symptom. So they will keep telling you that I suffer with gas, so mujhe gas hota hai. So that's a very vague terminology. You don't even understand what exactly it means by gas, but it is actually the chest pain which gets referred, and the way they describe is gas that needs to be taken seriously, especially if the patient has got a high risk profile, or else if the patient has got a family history of heart disease.
Correct. And sir, which is that one very interesting part of your job that you enjoy doing in your day-to-day life?
Ours is a tertiary center, so basically we get cases referred which are very sick, and they have multiple problems. Those are the patients who have been either not treated well, or else they have been referred because they could not be treated in other centers. So that appears more challenging for us, because we take up those cases, and when we save those lives by, if they need operation or by other measures, so that gives us the kind of satisfaction that we could make a difference in somebody's life, especially if the patient happens to be young. Then in that case, we know that not only we saved the life of the patient, we saved the, the whole family who he was able to look after because of his the livelihood. He is a main person who was the source of livelihood for the whole family. So that those things really gives us a lot of gratitude and satisfaction.
Correct. And one quote or mantra that keeps inspiring you every day.
So we just persevere that what we are doing is in the right faith, and for the wellness, and for the patients who suffer with the heart disease. So that's what is the one which we keep pursuing.
Correct. So thank you so much, sir. It was a very insightful session, and thank you so much for joining our flagship initiative, which is the Big Idea. It was great having the conversation with you.
Thank you so much.